5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go live. Let's go live. Hello and welcome to the United Stand. It's Manchester United v Hull preview. It's actually at Hull. I don't know why I did Manchester United first. Force of habit, I suppose. I'm going to get onto my lineup straight away tonight. There's lots to discuss. If you're a fan of FIFA, we'll be talking about that in a moment. But first of all, this is how, without further ado, this is how I think Jose will line up against Hull at 5:30 UK time on Saturday. Interaction City. Here we go. Hello and welcome to the United Stand. It's Manchester. So, in goal, obviously, De Gea, Bailly and Blind centre-backs, Shaw and Valencia is full-backs. I can't see a change in the back five. In the midfield, I think Fellaini and Pogba will be the anchor midfielders. Whatever you want, whatever your personal preference is, I just can't see him changing away from that. Rooney, no chance he's going to get dropped either. He will be in that number 10 position, whether you love him or loathe him. The Mkhitaryan position on the right, I don't know whether this is wishful thinking or not, but I really do think and hope that he will play, because if he doesn't start this game and he's only going to get 20 minutes or half an hour at the end, then he's not going to play against City, which is the next game after the international break. It's just not likely that he will play him against City, having not fed him in. So he's got to start against Hull. I thought he showed glimpses at the end of the Southampton game of what he's all about. I thought Mata was okay, but he's not a right midfielder. Mkhitaryan is, play him. Martial on the left and Zlatan up front. So let us know what you think of that. But what a front three, as Mark Woods said. This is what we want to see. This is our front three. Lingard is back fit. He's fit and training. He is on my bench. Bench is always interesting at the moment in relation to the players that will miss out. Obviously, Romero's on there. Smalling's on there. Schneidlin's on there. Herrera's on there. Mata, Lingard, Rashford. No Memphis. No Rojo. No Carrick. I mean, this is the situation we are in at the moment as Manchester United fans, isn't it? You know, we've got a fantastic squad of players, and that means that certain players, you know, they just don't play at the moment. So, end of the day, that's how it is. We know that. So, but that's how I think Jose will line up. Hull City. Are we worried about Hull City? Personally, no, I'm not. I think we will. I think we will win this quite comfortably. I think we'll have 9 points at the end of the transfer window, and I'll be very, very happy with that, because we will be top of the league going into that City game, which is oh so important. Hull, 2 wins from 2. It's the revenge of Mickey Phelan's shorts, isn't it? Remembering the assistant manager with Sir Alex for a number of years, stood there in his shorts. Nice bloke, Mickey Phelan, did a good job. Done a very good job at Hull. I think they've only got about 10 fit players at the moment. They've got more than that, really. But you know what? If we lost this is one thing I don't expect under Jose. It reminds me of the Sir Alex era, where, you know, there will be shocks, but they will be few and far between. And I don't think on Saturday we will have any shocks against Hull. We've got a better team, and this is what separates us from the likes of Arsenal. And I'm not even going to dig Arsenal out. I don't need to. They do that themselves. But when you buy Zlatan and you buy Pogba, they are top of the range quality players who will win us these sorts of games, and I've got so much confidence. It's weird. I feel like I could bang my head and I'm in an alternate universe, because I have so much confidence in Manchester United at the moment, and I have so much confidence that we will beat Hull, and I have so much confidence that we'll do it convincing. It's not going to be 1-0 or something like that. I think we'll beat them about 3-1 or something like that. Really, really do. However, I've got to go to my lineup. I'll go via Jose again for those who are joining us late. So that's how I think he'll line up. I think he will play Mkhitaryan, but apart from that, it'll be the same team. This is how I would line up. Obviously, fasten your seatbelts. This is how I would line up. That's how Jose would line up. Here's how I would line up. I hope you're liking the new kits. I think it's worth dropping a like for Ricks for doing those for us. But my lineup is slightly different. Let me put my hard hat on, because I'm going to get some tomatoes thrown at me, I'm sure. Valencia, Luke Shaw, fullbacks, De Gea in goal. Bailly obviously plays. I would play Smalling. I'm going to explain to you why. I put Blind on the bench because I think long term, Smalling needs to come into the team. And I would play Pogba and Schneidlin. I want Schneidlin to anchor the midfield. There's an interesting... Fellaini's not dropped, as you will see in a minute. I want Schneidlin anchoring the midfield. I want Pogba box to box. And the reason I would play Smalling is because the reason we're playing Fellaini at the moment is because Blind is small, and Fellaini shields the ball into the channel that will exploit Blind's height and lack of pace. So you play Fellaini there. It's a very, very clever thing to do, because you can't put the ball at the right height into the channel without it going out of play. And that's why we're playing Fellaini. to protect Blind. If we play Smalling, we don't need to play Fellaini defensive midfielder because Smalling's big and quick, and I want to see Smalling and Bay because that's the centre-back partnership I want to see, personally. Blind's a fantastic player. I think he's a better left-back, but Luke Shaw's better than him. He's a great utility player. So Schneidlin, he's got to start earning his corn, 100%. He's a better defensive midfielder than Fellaini. He can be the best defensive midfielder at the club. He needs to start playing games. Pogba box to box, that's his position. I was arguing, in which I'll talk about somebody in a minute. And Fellaini is in at number 10. Now, whoa, Mark, what are you doing playing Fellaini? Well, he can't be dropped. Even I accept he can't be dropped. He's playing well at the moment. However, as I keep telling you, to anybody who will listen, when Fellaini was good and dominating Manchester United sides at Everton, he played as a number 10 because Leighton Baines would hit him 40 yards from the left-back position, he'd hold it up and bring everyone else into play. Fellaini can do exactly what Rooney can't do. He can control a ball and he can play a simple 5 or 10 yard pass. Rooney's unable to control the ball at the moment and he's unable to play a 5 or 10 yard pass to the likes of Martial or Ibrahimovic. He's good at 40 yards, but that's no good. So I'd play Fellaini at 10. I think that's his best position, and if he's going to play for United, he may as well play there because Rooney's not very good at the moment. Mkhitaryan obviously on the right, Martial on the left, Zlatan up front. I've just realised you're not seeing my beautiful face. But so there you go. There's your Fellaini hater for you. I think, he doesn't deserve to be dropped at the moment. But for me, he's not a very good defensive midfielder. Play him at number 10. Drop Rooney. Fellaini's best position is number 10. He's in form. Mkhitaryan on the right. Martial on the left. Zlatan up front. Two big men playing 10 and 9. Hitting the ball into Fellaini, who's got good control, and his little 5 or 10 yard passes into the likes of Martial, Zlatan, Pogba bombing on. Simple things. Schneidlin into defensive midfield. Let him bed himself in there. And away we go. We're not far off with my team. We're not far off, actually, unless we're going to sign somebody. That is pretty much my 11 that I think could win the league. Ideally, I'd like to see Carrick in there for Schneidlin a bit, even Schweinsteiger. But you know what? That 11, I'd be pretty happy with it because I don't trust Rooney. And I'd probably prefer Fellaini to do the things that the number 10 needs to do. There we go. Tommy Herald, don't want to see Fellaini at 10. Would rather see Mata there. Don't like your selection, says Joe Dar. Give us a little bit more. Mark's going mad. When do you think Martial will start scoring again, says Javid. I mean, there's a good couple of points there. While people are shouting out with me to say what my prediction for score-wise, 3-1 Manchester United. We will win this. We will have 9 points. And we will go into that massive City derby. I think they'll have 9 points as well, by the way. Right up there with a fantastic start to the season. I do want to pick up on a couple of things. One of them is about Paul Pogba. I was having a little bit of an argument with a journalist today on Twitter because I tweeted out that why are so many people in the media saying that Pogba should play at number 10? Absolute nonsense. There are people in the media saying it, quite a few, and it is nonsense. They clearly don't watch Manchester United because Pogba's a box-to-box midfielder. You waste him at number 10 because you're playing him at number 10. He's higher up the pitch. He can't do as many driving runs and take-ons. He's got to be number 8. Not defensive midfielder, not number 10. He's a number 8. That's where Paul Pogba plays. And Martial, I'm getting there are a lot of Manchester United fans, not all. I think a lot of you, probably United stand viewers, not. There are United fans out there getting on the back of Anthony Martial. Are they suffering from short-term memory loss? Their head's right up the backside of Fellaini, who's been rubbish for 3 years and has had 2 good games, and they're slating Martial, who basically got us to FA Cup finals and made us competitive last season on his own with David De Gea, and he's had a couple of bad. I don't think he's been bad. I think he's been okay. But people are saying drop him for Memphis. Memphis, the great big hope, who's been such a good signing for us. Get out and walk. Martial doesn't need dropping. He's probably one of our best players at the club. And if you actually watch the Bournemouth game, he won us that game because he came inside for 10 minutes in the second half and basically had Bournemouth all over the place, and it opened up the space. From a tactical, watching a football match point of view, Martial won us that game because it gave us the space to do it. Martial will get better. Anmol says Fellaini's too slow as a number 10. Have you not seen our current number 10? He's hardly Speedy Gonzalez. We love Martial, says Craig Farrell. We definitely do. Pogba said it himself. He's box-to-box midfielder, says King Games. Fellaini is a cartoon. Martial hasn't even been that bad, says LaRusso. Totally agree with that. People seem to jump the gun about Martial. He'll come round again, Alexander. Remember, he's had his confidence knocked by wasting his summer with France in the Euros, not used. He's had the number 9 taken off him. He's got home issues as well. He'll come good. He's absolutely fine. like I said, short-term memories. He was our best player last year. He's still a young lad. He's going to be one of the best players in world football. There's nothing to be concerned about, especially for those older in the tooth like me and some of the viewers on the United stand who remember the days of Giggs. Ryan Giggs used to get booed at Old Trafford quite regularly. He'd have spurts of 3 or 4 games in a row where he'd be absolutely atrocious, and then he'd be brilliant. You know, I don't know, maybe it's the FIFA generation, which we'll be talking about in a minute, that they think a player's got to be on top of their game every day, every game. It won't happen. But Martial is fine. He offers so much. And even when he has a bad game, he scares the living daylights out of the opposition because of his pace and what he can do. And that in itself, sometimes great players don't need to have a good game to make an impact. You know, Zlatan could have a stinker on Saturday, but the fear he will drive into their centre-backs will create opportunities for other people. That's how it works when you're that good. And he was top scorer, Richard Percy, Martial, he was. Hi Mark, GG, oh God, I can't get my words out. GJ10. So, just for those, while I ramble on a little bit, this is how I think we will line up. This is Jose's team for Saturday. I can't remember how many I got right against Bournemouth. Probably got them all, to be honest. But the one change which I'm quite dubious about, I think he's got to do it because Mkhitaryan's got to be part of the team for the derby. I don't think we can go into the Manchester derby with Mata on the right, Fellaini defensive midfield, Valencia right back, Blind centre back, and Rooney out of form. It's too much of a risk. We've got to get Mkhitaryan in on the right because it makes us a hell of a lot more potent as an attacking force. So Mkhitaryan in for me, and I don't think he'll make any other changes. But this is how I would line up. He's not going to do this, by the way, but I would put Schneiderlin in defensive midfield. I'd put Fellaini at number 10 because he can hold the ball up and do short passes that Rooney can't. Mkhitaryan would still be on the right. And I would play Smalling instead of Blind because I think Smalling is a better centre-back than Blind. And long-term, this is what, again, we have a big game on the horizon. With all due respect to Southampton, Bournemouth and Hull, there are at least 10 teams better in this league than them, and we should be beating them. But when we play City, they might be the only team worse that's as good as us in this league, and we're at home as well. We've got to win it. I don't think we can go into it with just form players. We've got to go in with our best players, and that's what I think. But there you go. Mark hate Rooney more than Fellaini. I don't hate anybody, Aditya. I don't understand why people always have to say you hate players. I don't hate anybody. It's always about players in the club that I love and whether I think they're good enough. I couldn't really care about footballers whether I like them or not. Most of them are knobheads, I'll be honest. But I don't hate anybody in the United team. Mark, what's going on with FIFA? Says Dan. Dan, is that Dan from the United stand, or is it Dan somebody else? Okay, well I'm going to start locking that up there because you can read that if you want to. I'm going to say 4-0, says Drago Derage. Give us some of your score predictions. I was just about to come to that, so well done. Why are you starting Fellaini, Geraint Jones? Because I think he doesn't deserve to be dropped. I would like us to play one of our good defensive midfielders, and I think he's a better number 10 than Rooney at the moment because people don't understand why we signed Fellaini. He wasn't a defensive midfielder when we signed him. He was a number 10 and he caused us a lot of problems. We've never really played him in his best position. I would like to see him play there because he is a limited player. He can't do 30-yard passes. He's not very quick and he can't run past people. But what he can do is control the ball, something Rooney suffers with, and he can play 5 or 10-yard passes, which is something Rooney struggles with. So I think it'd be worth a go. There's no way it's going to happen. He won't drop Rooney, but there you go. Very, very quickly, before we go on to the FIFA stuff, Red Devil Thomas says 3-0. Kevin Cooper says 4-0. Kesney Vita says 3-1. Moose Chew says 3-1. Typical Habib Gaming says 5-0. As is David Daly. There's a few 5-0s. There's a 9-0 from Typical Habib Gaming. He's gone up by 4 goals in the space of a second. Does anybody think Hull's going to cause us a problem? I don't really need to talk much about Hull. They are a bit of a mess. Mick Phelan's done really well with them. But they are a championship side. The likes of Snodgrass, etc. You know, 1 time out of 10. Well, no. 1 time out of, well, I don't know. 1 out of 50 they should beat us. That's how good I think we are. And I think we will win. Very quickly, I did my video earlier in my car about Schweinsteiger. I just want to say, a lot of fans, this is where I'm at with this. There are fans out there saying he's mugging the club off, earning his money, and he should just go. That's your opinion. My opinion is that he's actually not mugging the club off. He's committed to the club. He said, I'm here if you want me. I don't want to go and play for any other club in Europe. I only left Bayern Munich to come to one club, and that was Manchester United. Personally, we signed him a year ago. I was ecstatic when we signed him, like most Manchester United fans. He had a mixed season last year, but it wasn't as bad as people think. He got injured. And I think he deserves a second chance. And I think he's a massive player who could give so much to the squad. I want him to stay. That doesn't mean that I don't back the manager. I just won't agree with everything Jose does. I think he's the right man. He's the best manager in world football. He will win his titles. But I'm not going to agree with everything he does because that would make life very, very boring. And you never should agree with what everybody says. So, no, I'd like him to stay. I think he could easily go. He could easily go. But I think he wants to stay, and I think that's good. And Fabinho, again, I think what a summer we've had in relation to signings. And I tell you what a summer I and the United stand have in relation to signings. Because straight after the Pogba deal, I said we'll sign Fabinho. It looks like it's going to happen. He played superb as a defensive midfielder last night for Monaco. He can play right back. It'd be interesting if we sign him where he plays, but if we sign him, I expect him to come into the team for 20 million. So looking forward to that signing, quite excited by it. Fonte, still being rumoured. If we sign Fonte, he's a fourth choice centre-back, whatever. I'll have to just deal with it, won't I? Martial is playing in position now, forces him to provide more than he receives the ball for a chance. I mean, that's a very good point from Nedzilla 10. I've been saying this a lot for the watch-alongs, and do join us on Saturday for the watch-along for the Hull game. But I've saying this a lot. We don't use the left-hand side, and that's another downside of Rooney because he naturally turns to his right and hits the right side pass to Valencia. We don't use the left side enough, and I think Shaw and Martial is a stronger side than Valencia and Mata, personally. But we don't use the left side enough. It's glaringly obvious that we don't. So we need to use that more, and that's part of the reason probably why Martial's not playing as well. Against Southampton, Shaw gets the ball, goes in the box, we get a penalty. He's great at that. We're better attacking down the left is what I'm trying to say. LaRusso wouldn't touch Fonte with a barge pole. Mario can jog on. Yeah, this Dave Poulton, Mario Balotelli, you know what? If he came to United, I would be disgusted. There are certain signings that you cannot make. Liverpool players, of which he's an ex-Liverpool and City player. Suarez. There are just certain players, don't want anything to do with him. And, you know, Jose can come out and say, you're all going to love Fellaini, which I'm not. But there's nothing you can do to make me ever want Balotelli in a Manchester United shirt. That would be taking the absolute piss, to be honest. And I would be insulted if he thought he could get away with that. So I can't see it happening ever in a million years. Okay, getting hot. Okay, let's talk about FIFA then. For those who don't like FIFA, just drop us a like. That's the preview bit done. Can't wait for it. I am live again tomorrow night with the Fantasy Premier League predictions and more Manchester United talk at 8:30. And I will have the Fantasy Premier League code so that those who haven't joined it can get involved. If you like FIFA, they've worn me down, the United stand, and all you lot. We've got something big. It's going up on the little ticker there, but I'll tell you how it works. FIFA 17 starts in about a month's time. So we were going to start a Manchester United stand league system in relation to FIFA 17 when it came out. However, it's such a big system and there are so many aspects to it, we thought let's run a league before that to iron out all the issues and make it even better for when FIFA 17 comes out. And I'm thinking about, if you're in the league, do we ban everyone from playing as Barcelona and Real Madrid, or do we have specific game weeks where people you have to play as a team from the Premier League or like the Liga or the Championship, stuff like that. This is all stuff we need to iron out. So we are going to do one before that. It will be Xbox and it will be PS4. That's what I'm on. We've got United Stand users like Dan and Joey who are on Xbox. There's me, Martin, Alex, Paul who are on PS4. So either way you can enter. The email address is unitedstandfifaleague@gmail.com. If you are interested, email us. There are limited spaces. So if you're watching it now, I would get emailing in. We'll send you out the rules and how you can enter, etc. And I think the first league is going to start a week on Saturday. But it's great. I haven't played FIFA for a long time. It's a real opportunity for me to get back into it. And how it's structured, I will have to get into it. Otherwise, I'm going to get quite embarrassed losing points and stuff. So, yeah. If you are into FIFA, get on that email address and you'll get sent through the details. There may be more than one league. We're thinking that a lot of people might be interested. We know how many teams we want in each league. Probably be 3 or 4 leagues with promotion, relegation. We want it all up and running for FIFA 17, like I say, but we are going to start it a month early with FIFA 16 to iron out all the issues. There will be prizes for winners, not for relegated people. I don't know how well I'm going to do. I haven't played in a while, so I need to get back training in the next week before it starts. But I'm looking forward to it, and if you do like it, do get involved. If you don't, apologies, but I've sort of been ground down into doing this. So the little ticker's going along there, but the email you need to send to is unitedstandfifaleague FIFA50 there we go. It's not on PC, unfortunately. It'll be Xbox and it will be PS4. And you know, if you want to play against me, it's PS4. But we will have United stand players in both formats. Looking forward to it. It's going to be interesting, and it could go massive. You know what? I don't think anybody's ever done this before. So, Banana Man 1. I can tell you're drinking or have been. You're slurring again. I actually. You know, maybe I've got Parkinson's or something like that, because I have not been drinking at all. And actually, I'm very hot, and doing live shows, talking constantly for 20 minutes, your voice probably does slur a bit. But maybe it's the early signs of an illness, because I haven't been drinking. So there you go. Sent my email. Hopefully I'll get in. I'll have a look at those in a mo. Joe presenter is Mark, Mad Marcus. Don't know what you're on about. Xbox 360, Xbox 360 or PS4 will be accommodated. PS1 won't be, says St. Columbo. Get yourself a PS4 or get yourself an Xbox, but we'll go with that. That's it. Really, really hot. Slurring my words apparently on the drink, which I'm not. But I think we'll do Sega Mega Drive as well. Yeah, we'll do that one for you as well. But thanks everybody for watching the preview show. If you're interested in FIFA, do drop the email. It's just gone past there. UnitedStandFIFALeague@gmail.com. We're working towards the FIFA 17 release, which will be fantastic. I appreciate United are still pretty crap in FIFA 16. But we'll still get a league done before then. So drop the email if you want to get in. It will be first come, first served. And we'll be promoting it over the next couple of days. But there we go. Thanks everybody for watching. Speak to you all soon, and have a great evening, and see you tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. United will beat Hull, no problems.